Appreciate you all coming today. We have exciting news, and we've got a lot of exciting things to talk about in the city of Albuquerque. Yesterday, we had a panel discussion at a Chamber of Commerce event, and we had Paul Homer was there, of course, the head of Sandia National Laboratories. We had a gentleman that was in charge of AFRL, our other national lab, was there. Colonel was there. We had Bob Frank from the University of New Mexico was on the panel as well, and we had Kirby from Intel that was there with us, and we were talking about all of the things that Albuquerque has to offer from a standpoint of innovation. And innovation is a big buzzword these days, and everybody talks about it. And as I travel around the country, every mayor wants to talk about innovation. Every mayor wants to talk about what their city can do, and they don't have the assets that we have in the city of Albuquerque to make some of those things happen. And so we are consistently working with leaders in our community. We've got great leaders here today, including both of our John Garcia, who's leaving the administration as our current Economic Development Director, Fred Mondragon, who was the previous Economic Director, and we're here to announce the next person today. But we also have leaders from economic development, from innovation, people who are out there every day creating jobs. And I brought some charts today, and the reason I did that was because I think as we talk about economic development, there's some fundamentals. And the one chart that's behind Kevin here, it basically talks about economic development, and there's all kinds of models for economic development, and we understand that, but most of them center around three basic pillars. One of those is attraction of businesses. We want to go out and we want to recruit businesses. Gary Tonjes is here today, and we work closely, and I've worked closely with AED in my first term, and we'll continue to use them as our pillar in the community for going out there and making sure that we're recruiting companies, but also making sure the second leg of the foundation here talks about retention and expansion, which is also something that we work with AED, and they've got a great component for startups as well. But this startup entrepreneurship side of it, we've got Agnes here from West, we've got TVC here, we've got Sandia Science and Tech Park, we've got the Bioscience Center, we've got the STC at UNM, Lisa Catilla and her group. We have all of these people that are out there on a daily basis trying to create jobs. And the basis of creating a job, I believe, is to create a business first. You can't have a job without a business. That could be a one-person business. That could be a business with thousands and thousands of employees. So we're going to spend the next 4 years with our Economic Development Department really concentrating on working with AED, working with our great partners on expansion and retention and recruitment. We're also going to make a special emphasis on startups. We are going to be the most entrepreneurial city in America. And that's our goal. Yay! And to do that, Gary Opedal is going to be our leader at the city as our new Economic Development Director. Gary, why don't you come on up here? So Gary has a problem. He's a serial entrepreneur. He can't quit starting businesses, and that's what we want. We want to make sure that we are, from the city standpoint, supporting those in our community who are out there, serving those who serve our community in a way that is entrepreneurial and showing people I'm an entrepreneur by trade. Gary's an entrepreneur by trade. Like myself, he's willing to walk away from the private sector for a period of time to help make our city a better place. And entrepreneurship starts early. We can talk to kids in middle schools about entrepreneurship. We can talk to kids in high school. We can talk to college students. We can talk to those in our community who have never thought about starting a business. It doesn't always have to be high tech. A lot of it is high tech. But Gary comes to this position as an entrepreneur, as a successful entrepreneur. He has experience in Silicon Valley. He has experience working with Intel on their startup operations here and around the world. He's successfully started a number of companies from scratch. He is a startup success story, and we want him to come on board to help our city understand all the potential that we have in all of these parts and pieces, so that we can go from well-funded university research, which is the chart over here, many highly educated workers, and this is the chart that we want to flip. So we have well-funded research. We have all the talent in the world that we need. We've got a tremendous workforce. We're spending a lot of time developing our workforce now in conjunction, but yet we're not commercializing as much of that research as we can. And Gary has cracked that code himself, and he's going to help us work on that as a city. So please help me welcome Gary Opedal as our new economic development director.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, everyone. I am truly honored and humbled by this appointment, and I accept.
That's good news.
I'm honored because I get to work with an administration that not only comes from business, they run like a business, and they know how to support business. Entrepreneurs, the definition of is they find a need, perceive a need, and fill a need. Right? I, like the mayor, am very optimistic on Albuquerque, always have been. And that's why I live here, that's why I grow businesses here, that's why my kids, my grandkids are here and they're not allowed to leave. And, like the mayor, I believe that we have all of the parts and pieces and strengths and resources, the highly talented people that all need put together. So the need is just to connect the dots and get everybody working together in our community. And so we intend to do that. And I'm humbled because obviously I can't do this by myself. And thank God I don't have to. We have a great foundation here in this city. And we have great partners, as the mayor's already alluded to. And we have great business leaders who really do want the best for Albuquerque. So I look forward to really working with all of you to make this city the most entrepreneurial friendly city in the world. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. And we want to thank the folks at MCOR for hosting us today. As Sherman was talking about earlier, where'd Sherman go? Yes, sir. Sherman wore a tie. He's a little camera shy today. This is where jobs are being created right here. We've got exciting prospects with Bob Frank in the University of New Mexico with Innovate ABQ, our Innovation Square concept. Great work being done at TVC, John Freisinger and his group, of course. I could just go through the room. Everybody in here is doing something great in our city. So, and the reason that we're doing it at MCOR today is because Gary was actually one of the ground floor people with MCOR. So we're bringing in an economic development director, and you'll see it in your press releases today, and please pick one up on your way out. He's actually figured out how to take technology from Sandia National Laboratories and build great companies around it. So we're going to be huddled here for the next month or so with Gary. We're going to be coming out with some additional plans for economic development, but they will all include entrepreneurship. They will all include funding for the Economic Development Department. My next budget will have an increase in the budget for the Economic Development Department. And another great announcement that we have today is that Deirdre Firth, and I'm looking around to see Deirdre Firth. Deirdre Firth is really one of our rocks at the Economic Development Department. She is my go-to person as a mayor to make sure that deals are being vetted, make sure that the clawbacks are there, that the taxpayers are being protected, and she has been a stalwart for me. And when Deirdre tells me something's true and factual, I believe it. She works very closely with Deb Inman, Gary Tonjes at AED and that group, and we have got other folks. If you're with the Economic Development Department today, raise your hand. Let's give them a round of applause. They do great work. But today we're also announcing that Deirdre will be promoted to Deputy Director of Economic Development.
I think it's an exciting day here in Albuquerque. Innovation is something that we've been looking forward and working on for some time, and having somebody with Gary's qualifications and background, as he mentioned, to connect the dots. We have so many tremendous community resources here. We just have to help people find them, pull them together, and move to the next step. So I'm looking forward to working with Gary and the mayor and the administration, and a great staff. Thank you.
Thanks, Deirdre.